All right, so get ready because today we are diving deep into Santa Clarita real estate.
Yo, yeah.
We're going to go deep into the Valley's market.
Sounds good.
You've given us some really interesting data to work with here.
Yeah.
We've got market trends from a local realtor, and then we've got these really detailed property listings
Yeah.
from a real estate database.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Let's see what we can uncover together.
It's a great combo.
Yeah,
Having those two sources together is fantastic.
absolutely.
It's like we get the realtor's perspective,
Right.
and then we also get to kind of peek behind the curtain
Yeah,
and look at the actual numbers, too.
totally.
It's going to be fun.
So to introduce everyone,
Yeah.
we have Connor with Honor.
Okay.
He's a local realtor.
Uh-huh.
He's got a blog and a website, SantaClaritaOpenHouses.com,
Okay.
and he's giving us his take on the market
All right.
as of December 23, 2024.
Cool.
So very, very up to date.
Yeah.
And then we can kind of compare that
Yeah.
to the data from these listings.
Right.
And I think these are probably from the MLS, but we don't know for sure.
Oh, okay.
But they're really detailed listings.
Awesome.
So-
Should be very insightful.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think we'll be able to see some interesting patterns emerge when we put those two sources together.
A multi-dimensional view.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Connor's saying that the market is still pretty active,
Okay.
but that things are kind of wrapping up as we head towards the end of the year,
Right.
which makes sense.
Yeah.
It's December 23rd.
I'm
So-
going to take it down.
He mentions there are 458 properties on the market,
Okay.
valley-wide, and prices range from $160,000 all the way up to $5.1 million.
Wow, big range.
Yeah, huge range.
Huge range.
That low-end property, though, that really caught my eye,
Oh, yeah.
$160,000.
That is very low.
That's unusually low for Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
Even for just land.
Yeah, it makes you wonder,
Holy no.
is it a typo?
Right.
Is it a tear down?
Right.
Is it just an incredible deal? I don't know.
I'm really curious.
I may have to check that one out on this website later.
Me too.
But looking at the bigger picture,
Yeah.
he points out that the median list price
Okay.
for the Valley is $829,900.
Sorry.
But the average closing price
Mm-hmm.
is lower at around $789,178.
Interesting.
So sellers aren't quite getting their full asking price, it seems like.
Yeah. And that actually ties in with some of his advice for sellers.
Oh, okay.
He really emphasizes the importance of decluttering
Okay.
and depersonalizing.
Makes sense.
He gives this example of firefighter, police officer themed rooms, which honestly I can't even picture, but apparently it's a thing.
I'm trying to imagine that.
Yeah.
Maybe they're hoping to attract very specific buyers.
I guess so.
But I see his point.
Yeah.
You want to appeal to as many people as possible
Right.
when you're selling your home.
Absolutely.
Speaking of buyers,
Okay.
the median time on the market valley-wide
Right.
is 31 days.
Okay.
So still pretty fast-paced.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
our database shows a lot of variation there.
Oh, really?
Some properties are on the market much longer.
Interesting.
I wonder if that's starting to reflect a shift in buyer preferences,
Maybe.
maybe towards certain property types or features.
That's a great question.
Yeah, something to keep in mind
Yeah.
as we dig deeper.
Absolutely. Now, Connor focuses a lot on Valencia.
Okay.
He calls it the hottest spot.
Uh-huh.
But is it really?
Well, let's put that claim to the test.
Let's do it.
The database shows over 120 active listings
Wow.
in Valencia alone,
Just Valencia.
just Valencia.
Okay.
And prices range from $580,000 to $5 million.
All right.
So another big range.
Yeah.
But the sweet spot seems to be between $700,000 and $900,000.
Interesting. But here's where things get a little more nuanced.
Okay.
The average time on market in Valencia
Uh-huh.
is actually 59 days.
Oh, wow.
So slower than that valley-wide average.
So maybe Valencia is cooling off a bit?
Maybe.
Or maybe buyers are being more selective? It's not just about being in Valencia.
Right.
It's about finding the right property within Valencia.
Exactly. And this is where understanding those local nuances becomes really important.
Yeah.
For example, Connor talks about Mello-Roos,
Oh, yeah.
which is something that anyone looking at Santa Clarita real estate
Mhm.
needs to know about.
Yeah, sure.
Essentially, it's a special tax levied on properties in certain areas
Okay.
to fund things like schools and infrastructure.
Gotcha. So it can add a substantial amount to your monthly housing costs?
It can.
Buyers definitely need to factor that in.
Absolutely. Connor recommends that sellers highlight when Mello-Roos is expiring on their property as a selling point.
Okay, that's good advice.
And for buyers,
Yeah.
he says to check with a tax professional
Okay.
about potential deductions.
So that's good advice for both sides.
Yeah. But what's really cool is that our database actually shows which properties have Mello-Roos.
Oh, wow.
So we can go beyond just kind of general advice and see if there are any patterns. Like, do certain types of properties or price ranges tend to have mellow roofs?
That would be really interesting to see.
Maybe we can find some hidden gems that are mellow roofs free or at least close to expiring.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I love that about this.
Me too.
Like, it's not just about understanding the market in general.
Right.
But it's about getting that granular level of detail that can really make a difference in your decisions.
Absolutely. Now, shifting gears a bit.
Okay.
Connor also emphasizes the importance of interest rates for buyers.
Of course.
Obviously, lower rates can save a lot of money over the life of a loan.
Definitely.
He even mentions that pre-qualifications from 2024 are likely still valid, which could really streamline things for buyers early in 2025.
Yeah, that's okay.
So that's a good tip.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, can we use our data to go even further?
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious to see if there's any correlation between interest rates and days on market.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah. Are there any properties where a lower rate could significantly impact affordability?
Right.
And maybe make them suddenly more attractive to buyers?
Yeah, totally.
Now, I'm also thinking we might be able to take it a step further.
Okay. How so?
Connor recommends his Santa Clarita edition of How to Buy and Sell Real Estate, updated for 2025.
Awesome.
I wonder if we can cross-reference any of his specific tips or strategies with our data and see if they actually hold up in the current market.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. It's like we're fact-checking the expert advice in real time.
Totally. Okay, so we've focused a lot on Valencia so far.
We have.
But our database covers other areas of Santa Clarita as well.
It does.
So are there any surprises in terms of price differences or trends compared to Valencia?
Well, that's where the data breakdown by area comes in handy.
Okay.
It breaks down average price per square foot and days on market for each neighborhood. So we can really compare them side by side.
Right.
See how specific areas are performing. Correct. Not just rely on those general market trends.
So we can get really specific.
Exactly. And I think if we look closely at individual listings, we might find some hidden gems or red flags.
Okay.
That wouldn't be obvious just from looking at the overall numbers.
Yeah, for example.
Well, I noticed a few properties with unusually high prices per square foot for their neighborhoods.
Interesting.
And then also some that have been lingering on the market for a surprisingly long time.
So that's something to pay attention to.
Definitely.
It could signal an overpriced property.
Right.
Or maybe there's something else going on.
Yeah.
That's making it less desirable to buyers.
Exactly. Those outliers are always worth investigating further.
I agree.
They can provide some really valuable insights into those microdynamics of specific areas.
So it's like we have this macro view of the market from Connor's insights.
Yeah.
And then we can zoom in and get this micro view with the database.
I love that.
Me too.
Combining those perspectives, that's how we can really start to see that bigger picture.
For sure.
And maybe even find some hidden opportunities that others might miss.
Absolutely. But more on that later.
Yeah.
First, let's recap what we've learned so far.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so let's recap what we've learned so far in this deep dive.
Yeah, we've thrown a lot of data at you.
Yeah, a lot of information.
A lot of market trends, specific listings, even mellow roofs.
It's a lot.
But what does it all mean for you as you navigate this Santa Clarita market?
Well, first, it seems like the market is still pretty active. But there are these hints of a potential shift coming in 2025.
Right.
Valencia is still desirable.
Yeah.
But you've got to understand those local nuances, like mellow roofs.
Totally key.
And the numbers tell a story.
They do.
But it takes a deep dive like this to really understand it. Connor suggests staying with your current agent.
Okay.
If you love them.
Yeah, makes sense.
Which I bet if you have a good working relationship, you don't want to just jump ship.
But given what we've uncovered today, I think it is worth considering. Do you need to explore other options?
Right.
Maybe it's time to shop around a little bit.
Yeah.
Or delve deeper into specific neighborhoods.
I like that.
Yeah.
Delve deeper.
Yeah.
See what else is out there.
Yeah.
Okay, before we move on to our final thoughts.
Okay.
I would love to take a look at some of these individual listings.
Great idea.
I think getting into the specifics can really bring the data to life.
I agree totally. So, for example, I see a property on Agua Dulce Canyon Road. Listed for $1,999,800.
Wow, almost $2 million.
Almost $2 million.
Okay.
And it's been on the market for 232 days.
Wow. That's way longer than average.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it is.
And it makes you wonder why. The database says it's a 6-bedroom, 6-bathroom house.
Okay.
Built in 1999, sitting on 2 acres of land.
So maybe it's overpriced?
Maybe.
Or maybe it has some really unique features that only appeal to a very specific buyer.
Right.
So like maybe a pool shaped like a cowboy hat or something.
Exactly. Like a real estate mystery.
I know.
What could it be?
Right.
Maybe it needs some serious updating.
Could be.
Maybe the location isn't ideal for most people.
Yeah. This is where further investigation would be needed.
For sure.
Sometimes those mysteries can lead to the best opportunities, though.
I agree.
But you've got to be willing to do the digging.
Totally. Okay, let's look at a different kind of property.
All right.
How about a condo in Valencia?
Okay.
Listed for $379,900.
Okay. That's relatively affordable for Valencia.
Compared to some of the other listings.
Yeah, for sure.
So what are the details on that one?
It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit, built in 1980, and it's been on the market for 66 days, which is pretty average for Valencia.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that it's located on Tournament Road.
And what's significant about that location?
Well, it's known for being really close to the Valencia town center.
Okay.
So it could appeal to someone who wants that walkable lifestyle.
Makes sense.
It might also be a good option for investors.
Oh, yeah.
Looking for a rental property.
Totally. This is what I love about these deep dives.
Yeah.
You start to see those stories behind the numbers.
Yeah, they come to life.
Yeah. Okay. One last listing before we move on.
All right.
How about a single-family home in Saugus?
Okay.
Listed for $785,000.
All right.
So let's see here. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house built in 1978.
Okay.
And the days on market.
Yeah, how long has it been on?
0.
Oh, wow.
Just hit the market.
A fresh listing.
Fresh listing.
All right. Tell me more.
So it's located on Calwood Street.
Okay.
Which is in a well-established neighborhood.
All right.
In Saugus. Known for its quiet streets.
Okay.
And family-friendly atmosphere.
Sounds nice.
So this could be a great option for a family looking for a move-in ready home in a nice neighborhood.
Yeah. But as always, I'm sure there's more to the story.
Right.
So the listing mentions that it's an as-is sale.
Yes.
So there might be some repairs needed.
Oh, gotcha.
Always a good idea to get a thorough inspection before making an offer.
Of course, especially one being sold as is.
Exactly.
So while these individual listings give us a glimpse into the micro level of the market, it's important to remember those broader trends we discussed earlier.
Yes, definitely.
Like that potential slowdown in 2025.
Right.
The importance of mellow roofs.
Right.
The impact of interest rates.
Yeah.
All those factors are shaping the Santa Clarita real estate landscape.
They are.
And understanding them can give you a real advantage.
For sure.
Whether you're buying or selling.
Absolutely. So even though we're highlighting specific listings, we don't want you to lose sight of the forest for the trees.
Right.
It's about seeing both the individual details and that bigger picture.
Exactly.
That's how we make the most informed decisions.
Okay, now before we move on to our final thoughts for this deep dive, I want to circle back to something Connor mentioned.
Right.
The importance of decluttering and depersonalizing for sellers.
Yes, he did emphasize that.
He did, and he gave that example of the firefighter police officer themed rooms.
I know, that one really got me thinking.
Yeah.
What are some other common mistakes sellers make
Right.
that can really hurt their chances of a quick and profitable sale?
That's a great question.
It deserves its own deep dive, honestly.
It really does.
But we can touch on a few key points here.
Okay.
First up, pricing.
Okay.
Overpricing your home can be a major turnoff for buyers.
Makes sense.
Buyers are savvy. They're going to do their research.
Right.
If your home is priced too high, it's going to sit on the market longer.
Right.
And that can lead to price reductions.
Right.
And ultimately a lower selling price.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
No. So how can sellers find that sweet spot?
That's the question.
Well, a good realtor like Connor
Yeah.
can provide a comparative market analysis.
Okay.
Or a CMA.
Right. A CMA takes into account recent sales of similar properties in the area.
Exactly.
To help determine a realistic and competitive listing price.
Precisely. But sellers also need to be realistic about their expectations.
Okay.
You know, emotional attachment to a home can sometimes cloud judgment.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
You've lived in a home for years.
Right.
Raised a family.
Made memories.
Made memories. It's hard to detach from that.
Yeah.
And see it purely as a financial asset.
Oh, sure.
But remember, buyers are looking for value.
Right.
They're not going to overpay just because you have fond memories of the place.
Totally, fair enough. Okay, what's another common mistake sellers make?
Presentation.
Okay.
First impressions matter. Buyers want to see a home that is clean,
right,
well-maintained,
right,
and inviting.
Yeah.
A fresh coat of paint, decluttered rooms, a staged interior.
Yeah.
Can make a huge difference.
And don't forget, curb appeal.
Oh, yes.
That's the first thing buyers see.
Right, when they pull up?
Yeah, when they pull up to the house.
Uh-huh.
A well-manicured lawn, a freshly painted front door.
Yes.
Some colorful flowers can go a long way.
Absolutely. It's all about creating that welcoming, appealing first impression.
Totally. And speaking of presentation,
okay,
let's talk about photography.
Oh, yeah.
This is crucial in today's digital age,
Uh-huh.
where most buyers start their home search online.
That's where it all begins.
Right? Those online listings rely heavily on photos.
Yes, they do.
Blurry, poorly lit, or just unflattering photos
Right.
can really hurt your chances of attracting buyers.
Yeah, you got to put your best foot forward.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's worth investing in professional photography.
I agree.
To showcase your home in its best light.
Absolutely. A skilled photographer can really highlight your home's strengths.
Yeah?
And minimize any weaknesses.
I like that. What about marketing?
That's where a good realtor really shines.
Okay.
They have the expertise and the resources to market your property effectively.
All right.
Listing it on multiple platforms, hosting open houses, reaching out to their network.
Totally. And they can help you craft a compelling listing description.
Yes.
That highlights your home's unique features.
Exactly.
And benefits.
Yeah.
What else should sellers be aware of?
Flexibility.
Okay.
It's essential in any negotiation.
So meaning sellers need to be willing to compromise on things like price closing date.
Yeah.
Even some repairs.
Exactly. Being reasonable doesn't mean giving away the farm.
Right.
But it does mean being open to working with buyers to find a mutually agreeable solution.
I like that.
Remember, the goal is to sell your home quickly.
Yeah.
And for the best possible price. Sometimes that requires a little bit of give and take.
Totally. Okay. So we've covered pricing, presentation, marketing, and flexibility.
Yep.
Any other words of wisdom for sellers?
Be honest and transparent.
Okay.
Disclose any known issues with the property up front.
Right.
It's better to be up front than to have those issues come up during the inspection.
Right.
Which can lead to delays.
Totally.
Or even a deal falling through.
Yeah. Nobody wants that.
No.
So it builds trust with buyers.
It does.
And helps avoid potential problems down the line.
Exactly. So we've talked about some common mistakes sellers make and how to avoid them. Selling a home can be a complex process.
It can be.
But careful planning a good realtor.
Right.
And a little bit of effort can lead to a smooth and successful transaction.
Totally. Couldn't agree more. Okay, now, before we move on to our final thoughts, I want to take a moment to reflect on the unique insights we've gained. By combining Connor's expertise with the raw data from these listings.
It's like having two pieces of a puzzle.
Yeah.
Each providing a different perspective. Right. And when you put them together, you get a much clearer picture of the Santa Clarita real estate market.
Absolutely. So what are some of the key takeaways that stand out to you? Well, for me, it really just reinforces that the market's dynamic.
Yeah.
Like what's true today might not be true tomorrow.
Right.
So staying informed is key.
Yeah, I agree. And working with professionals who are on top of the latest trends is invaluable.
Absolutely. Another takeaway for me is that nuance matters.
Oh, yeah.
Like those mellow roost details, understanding those hyperlocal factors, they can really impact your decisions.
They can.
Whether you're buying or selling.
For sure. And then there's the data itself.
Right.
Numbers don't lie.
Right.
But they do require interpretation.
And that's where a deep dive like this is so helpful. Sifting through the data, identifying patterns.
Yeah.
Maybe even uncovering some hidden gems that other people might miss.
I love those hidden gems.
Me too. But I think the biggest takeaway for me is that real estate is personal.
Absolutely.
Every buyer and seller has their own unique needs and goals. There's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Right. It's about finding the right property at the right price at the right time.
Exactly.
It's a combination of knowledge preparation and even a little bit of intuition, too.
I agree, 100%.
Okay.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive completely,
I want
to leave you with one final thought-provoking idea.
Okay. I like it.
Okay, so we've examined all this data. We've heard Connor's perspective. We've even peeked into specific listings.
Yeah, we really went deep.
We went really, really deep. But there's one crucial element that we haven't explicitly addressed.
Okay, what's that?
Your gut feeling.
That intuition factor.
Yes.
It's hard to quantify.
It really is.
But it can be so powerful when you're making big decisions.
Especially with something like real estate.
Absolutely. Data and expert advice are essential.
For sure.
But sometimes you just get this feeling about a property.
Right.
And it's hard to ignore.
Totally. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
That sense that a place just feels right or wrong.
Totally.
And it's not just for buyers either.
Right.
Sellers can benefit from that intuition too.
Yeah. Maybe a lowball offer comes in. And logically it makes sense to accept it.
Right.
But something just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, you just get that feeling.
Exactly.
It could be worth holding out for a better opportunity.
It could be. So even with all this data and analysis, we shouldn't discount the power of our own gut feelings.
Totally. I love that.
It's about finding that balance.
Right.
The data informs the experts' advice. But ultimately, you're the one making the decision.
You are.
Trust your judgment. Weigh all the factors.
Right.
And don't be afraid to listen to that inner voice.
Perfectly said. The Santa Clarita Valley is a vibrant community.
It is.
It has something to offer everyone. Whether you're looking for a starter home, a luxury estate, an investment property.
It's all there.
There's a place for you here.
Yeah.
But do your research, understand the market, and work with the right professionals.
That's how you make those informed decisions. That's how you achieve your real estate dreams.
Couldn't agree more. So that's it for this deep dive into the Santa Clarita Valley real estate market.
So much fun.
So much fun. Thanks for joining us.
And remember, knowledge is power.
Stay curious, keep learning, and never stop exploring.
Yes.
Whether you're buying, selling, or just daydreaming about your next move.
Yeah.
We'll be here to help you navigate the world of real estate.
See you next time.